Hang on, don't start it.
Hi, this is Laksh.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And today we're here to help
Have fun.
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun. Hi, I'm Laksh.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And welcome back to our channel. Today we're here to talk about boundaries. What are they? Why are they so important? Well, have you felt nervous or anxiety, fearful when trying to set a boundary with someone you love, like your boss, your wife, husband, coworker, sibling, parent, anybody really? Have you ever felt nervous when trying to set a boundary with them? Well, we're here to tell you that's very important to do, and when you do it, you're going to be more magnetic. Things are going to come to you rather than you going to them. You're going to make more money. You're going to be more successful. You will attract more friends. You're going to attract more love into your life. Setting boundaries can really change your life. But let's start with the basics. What are boundaries?
So there are two kind of boundaries. And as I always say, your inner is a reflection of your outer. So we're just going to start with inner boundaries. This is deciding, asking yourself, what are my values? What are my beliefs? And once you have a strong sense in that, you will naturally start to understand what are my inner boundaries, and then it will reflect on the outer. So by having inner boundaries, like he was saying, you will be a magnet. People will, even before the outer, come to you to ask you for money when they didn't pay you back in the past. Come to you for advice and they didn't take it. And they're just basically, I guess you can say, wasting your time in a sense. All these things in a relationship, and they keep mistreating you. When you have inner boundaries, those people will instantly start falling away. You will instantly starting to have more outer boundaries. There's just many ways, I guess you can say, to start having those inner boundaries. But once again, asking yourself, what are my beliefs? What are your values? Do you value being authentic? Well, guess what then? You can say whatever's on your mind without having any fear, any guilt. And once you say that, now on the outer, the people that don't like it, guess what? Will fall away. Mm-hmm. And that creates more space for people that resonate with you and love who you are authentically. That's just one example.
It's boundaries really come from knowing what your values are. One of my biggest values is honesty. But you know what? I didn't really set that boundary either with myself or with the people around me until I had courage. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of courage to set boundaries. Having that belief that, look, I'm here to make my life a better place. I don't want to continue this pattern, this trap I've been in for the last few years, right? By setting these boundaries with a lot of courage, even with myself, one of my boundaries is I don't want to be lazy. But guess what? I have days where I don't feel like working. But that's a boundary that, I've set it so hard with myself, subconsciously, I feel like, okay, you had half a day off, you relaxed, good job. Now let's do a little bit of work, Mm-hmm. And that happened to my external as well, that when I see people being unproductive, and that's their way of life, not even like, you're taking a day off here and there, people just don't work ever. I can't be affiliated because it's going to rub off on me and I don't need that. Mm-hmm. That's a boundary I set with a lot of courage. It'll take a lot of courage to make these things happen.
Mm-hmm. But it's literally, once again, just basically choosing to have that inner strength and choosing to understand yourself and choosing to choose yourself. Like basically, when it comes to a point in life where people will make you choose, right? Because if someone's crossing that boundary and making you realize, wait a minute, this is not something I value. So you question that, right? And when you are questioning that and it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't sit well with you, once again, the stronger your inner self is, will be, belief, all of this, it will reflect on the outside and you will not take that. You will not allow it to be in your outer anymore. It will not sit well with you.
True.
So like examples of a lot of times our boundaries come out if we decide not to set them and we choose to be a people pleaser, it will come out in self-sabotaging ways. We'll both use a couple examples in our personal life, but basically like your friendships.
Yeah, a lot of the friendships I had, I grew up not having a lot of friends, and I was in a very desperate energy that I wanted to have friends. You know, it's not something I'm proud of, but it's something I've grown from. I'm grateful for that. But while I was setting a lot of inner boundaries with myself and doing the inner work, I wasn't doing that externally because I was lacking the courage. But what happened was I set them so strong internally, I started self-sabotaging the friendships I had. Now, that's not very healthy to do. That's why we want to be more courageous about it. And you know, I'm sorry I caused pain, but ultimately that made me realize, you know what? This is not the friend group I was meant to be around because they don't represent my values. I'm sorry for causing pain. I will 100% be better next time, but I am so grateful that at least I set internal boundaries, because if I was still hanging around that friend group, I would not be the man I am today.
Yep, for sure. So a lot of times in like relationships, we set boundaries in a toxic way, and there's so many examples of this, but like just an easy example is if someone, once again, you know, your partner comes in, whether it's like physical abuse, mental abuse, whatever it is, and you are a people pleaser or you're used to it, whatever the reason you're putting up with that, well, it's for one, you don't have enough inner boundaries to value and show on the external. But once again, going back to examples. So your partner comes in, they talk down to you. Once again, maybe it's physical, who knows, right? Whatever the case may be. If you don't have the courage to go, no, you're not doing it, or to leave, it's going to come out in unhealthy ways. It can even come out, even if you choose to keep it in anxiety attacks. It can come out in cancer. It can come out in so many different ways. It's going to come out. So once again, this is why it's so important to set inner and outer boundaries, because it will come out one way or another. So why don't we just choose a healthy way?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of guys who are unhappy with their relationships, but they're afraid to set those boundaries in those relationships because, well, what if I lose the girl, right? But they do very unhealthy things like cheating and doing things behind the other person's back to self-sabotage a relationship because it doesn't resonate with their internal values. So we need to have that courage to set the boundary. If the person accepts those boundaries, great, they're meant to be in your life. If they don't accept, then good for you, because you lost a person you're going to lose anyways.
100%. So let's get into why you will be a magnet if you set these healthy boundaries. So think about it, right? Another example. If I'm being authentic and I am just totally walking in the room and almost feeling as if I am literally in my own space, at home, music's on in my bedroom, and I dance authentically, right? Can I go into a wedding reception and do that? Can I go into a club and do that, an event and do that? If you can, you're being authentic, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to attract friends that resonate on that level. Now, if you go into a wedding reception or a club or any of these things and you're not being authentic because you're being a people pleaser or you're scared of how people are going to judge you, all these things, you're going to attract now friends that resonate on that level. Why? Because someone who's dancing like you would be, right, in your bedroom all alone, in your safe space all alone, they're not going to come up to someone who's being shy and unauthentic. It's just not resonating. It's not on the same vibration. It just doesn't happen that way. So once again, by us being more authentic, I'm out dancing, I'm doing, this is just an easy example, right? Someone who is just like that, because I'm being true to myself, someone who is being true to themselves is also going to come up to me and dance, right? It's very simple. That was just one example of so many. You are a magnet now, right? Yeah,
I mean, I was just going to say, in business, I set boundaries all day long, you know? To work with me, I expect hard work, determination, grit. I mean, the three things I tell people when I call them is, if you're going to work with me, I need hunger, I need coachability, and I need grit. And if you don't have these three, this ain't it, partner.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've struggled for 2 years in my career finding those things, but as soon as I set that boundary internally and externally, they've come in droves. It's kind of crazy. It blows my mind sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
geez, is this real?
Yeah.
Gotta pinch myself.
Yeah.
But hey, they're magic.
You literally leveled up. It's like when you level up on those boundaries,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you're a magnet. You're a magnet to those quality people that you've always been on the inside, right? You're a quality person on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start setting those boundaries and showing that I can never say that word.
Authenticity.
To others, that's what you attract. But if you keep hiding it,
Yeah.
those people aren't coming. They're going to hide, right? Your inner is a reflection of your outer.
So a quick little hack too to help you get there, right? Because after watching this video, you might feel a lot of fire, intensity that I'm going to do this, I'm going to set boundaries. But sometimes there come moments that I'm about to do it and I get scared. Do you ever feel that way? I mean, I have moments.
I have many times.
Yeah, right? I have moments too sometimes and I'm like, what am I doing? I just got scared and backed out, right?
Yeah.
Change your body state. We've done videos on this before. Take a look at those videos. There are things you can do to your body physiologically, like rolling your shoulders back, speaking louder,
Boop, boop, boop,
dancing,
boop.
right?
Yeah.
These are
For 5 seconds, like even if it's in your head.
even if it's in your head, right? Do things that raise your state onto the positive side of things, and that will naturally give you the courage to deal with things. So a quick little hack for you. I use it whenever I'm making cold calls, which suck, so they work.
It really does. So, all right. Yeah, if you want to be a magnet, seriously, practice inner boundaries. Meditation is great. Journaling is great. Questioning what your values and beliefs are.
True.
And becoming so powerful within those boundaries. I promise you it will show on the outside boundaries. So if you can, please like, subscribe, and share. We greatly appreciate it.
Most importantly, go change your life.
Yeah.